Morning, guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Crystal. We're here at my flat in Rochester. Um, my kitten is having fun with a cardboard box. He's loving it. So just a few bits of crinkly paper, and he's loving it. Simple cardboard box. Like that. So we're having a wonderful time with our new kitten. Full of joy. Very, very active. Very naughty as well. Alexa, good morning.
Good morning, and happy Diwali, the 5-day festival, celebrated by Hindus, Sikhs and Jains around the world, marks new beginnings, and the triumph of good over evil and of light over darkness. I can get on board with that.
Alexa, what's the time, please?
It's 8:44 a.m.
Alexa, what's the date today?
Today is Sunday the 12th of November.
Alexa, what's the weather like?
Currently, in Rochester it's 7 degrees Celsius with mostly cloudy skies. Today, you can expect showers, with a high of 10 degrees and a low of 7 degrees.
Alexa, can you tell me a joke?
I'm a bit nervous about my maths exam. I think my chances of passing it are about 40-40.
Alexa, whose birthday is it today?
Today's famous birthdays include Canadian actor Ryan Gosling, American actress Anne Hathaway, Canadian singer-songwriter Neil Young, American basketball player Russell Westbrook, and Uruguayan footballer Enzo Francescoli.
Right, guys, how old is Ryan Gosling? Alexa, how old is Ryan Gosling?
Ryan Gosling is turning 43 years old today. Happy birthday, Ryan Gosling.
And Alexa, what films did Ryan Gosling star in?
I know about 64 movies which star Ryan Gosling, including Drive, La La Land, Blade Runner 2049, Crazy, Stupid, Love, and 60 more.
Yeah, I've watched a load of Ryan Gosling films. So today is Sunday. Good morning, Sunday. I don't feel so cold as I did last night. That's good. So I haven't put the heating on yet. So yeah, we're still here in Rochester. I've got up, I've made my coffee, listened to my other cat Nikki, listened to Max. I think the kitten is learning, like when we go to sleep. He was very good last night, just curled up, and then he gets up when we do, so that's cool. That was last night. It was really, really good. So he's getting used to what like night and day is, you know. What happens? He's just fitted in really well. You could have hours of fun with him. It's wonderful. Makes me smile when things aren't so good, you know. Last night, like I said, I took Max out for a walk and came back, and then I came into my flat, and it was a case of sitting down, resting my leg and watching things on the TV. So I was trying to adjust the telly so that I could sit with my foot up and rest it, but it didn't seem to do any help. I don't know what I've done to it. I mean, it's cold as well, so cold makes things worse. So I don't know if it's just me getting a bit older and my joints and my things are just stiff, and maybe I need some oiling, like a rusty car. I don't know. It's just sore. So what will happen is I've had a long rest overnight, and throughout the day when I'm using my leg, it'll suddenly get to the point where I can't walk on it too well. So we'll see what happens. yeah, Sunday, not a lot to do on Sunday. I don't plan on going anywhere. It is autumn. Need to wrap up warm. Just playing. He's just a lot of attention, doesn't it? Just a cardboard box, look. Costs nothing, does it? I used to do that with my kids when I was little, like make a train out of cardboard boxes. Have fun when you haven't got a lot of money, right? Right, let's stand on this bad foot. Just check out outside on a Sunday. Plants are still in flower down there. Those are the ones I grew from seed. Obviously nothing's going to dry out here. It's not windy. And let's go back in. Turn it round. Yeah, so my mum sent me an envelope last night with 333 on the back. 333 is a significant number. There was a year 333. I don't know what people were doing in the year 333. Alexa, any significant happenings in the year 333?
From myhomeworkwriters.com. In 333 BC, Alexander and the Greek soldiers initially conquered the Persians in what is presently modern Turkey.
Right. Alexa, whose birthday was it in 333?
From aboutspiritual.com. Jesus Christ was crucified at the age of 33, which shows that the number 3,333 is powerful and needs to be respected and taken seriously.
Wow. Alexa, LBC Radio.
LBC London from Global Player.
In its youth service, they got rid of 240 years of cumulative experience they can't buy back. What governments need to do is stop being reactive and start being proactive. Stop funding social enterprises, do-gooders, and create proper national initiatives that have been tried and tested instead.
Harry.
Okay, what do you say? 0345 6060 973 is the
Harry.
number. Amanda from Romford has picked up the phone. Good morning to you, Amanda.
Good morning.
What do you know about young people and violence, Amanda?
My daughter, she was actually jumped twice by a gang of girls. We contacted the police. She ended up in hospital with concussion. And we contacted the police, and they took too long to come round and speak to her. My daughter
What did they just out of interest?
go ahead.
What did they say? Because I started this conversation by telling you about how I was beaten up in Croydon as a young person on more occasions than I can even remember. And it got so bad that the police did get involved, and I can still remember. In fact, I've probably got his card because he left a card. But a PC from Croydon, Nick, essentially telling me that that what I needed to do was hit back. Now this is a long time ago. This is in like 1980, 81. But I was opposed to violence then, and I remain opposed to violence today. So hitting back wasn't really an option. And I have to say, at that time, I did feel utterly failed by the police. I was only 14, 15, but I did feel failed. How's your daughter going to move on from this experience?
To be quite truthful, she's quite a tough child. And she did try to fight back. Obviously, the losing battle when you've got 6 or 7 girls, ganging up behind you.
future
Literally.
things as well. And Amanda, I've got to move on from now. I just wanted to say I send my very, very best to your daughter. It's a hideous experience, especially when it's a prolonged campaign of violence and intimidation that's directed towards you. So I've got some idea about what that's like, and I wish you all the best. That was Amanda from Romford. Now then, we have some time to talk with Abigail Foster, our personal finance guru. She joins me now. Morning, Abigail.
Good morning, Matthew. How are you doing?
I should say I'm doing very well. I should say you're a spokesperson for ILENT, a financial literacy workshop, which I obviously could easily benefit from. Interest rates, it seems to be the bane of everybody's life. On the stagnating, but something high at 5.25%. Haven't increased of late, but within the negative story of interest rates, there are some positive stories for savers.
Yes, there are. So there are the positive stories for savers with those 5% interest rates you can see on savings accounts now. But what we were going to talk about this morning is the 1.2 million extra people that are being dragged into the net of people that might actually be having to pay tax on the savings interest now. So the difference between a savings account and an ISA, just to explain that part, is that a general savings account is one that if you earn interest over a certain amount, you will have to start paying tax, whereas any interest you earn within an ISA, so an individual savings account, is completely tax-free, so it's tax-wrapped. So the savings allowance currently, if you are a base rate taxpayer, is £1,000. You can earn up to £1,000 in interest in a tax year before you get taxed. It drops to 500 if you're in a higher rate tax bracket, and you get nothing if you're an additional taxpayer.
I love the way you say that. You get nothing.
You do. It's quite a drop. Those savings allowances have dragged a lot of those people into what's now obviously in tax situation.
I'm just trying to work backwards. As someone who's had the benefit of living on all range of incomes, from next to nothing to quite a lot, the idea of saving when you're on a low income, I'd love to hear from someone who's done it. I mean, I just think it's impossible. If you're struggling to meet your energy bills and you're on a sort of minimum tax threshold, then I would imagine saving isn't really on your agenda.
Yeah, it can be virtually impossible, but I spend a lot of time teaching in schools all over the UK, and even on, like when you are having your first job, it's important to just kind of automate some savings, because like we all know
£5
well, yeah, because it's one of those things that to build up that emergency fund pot can help you avoid so much more expensive credit and debt in the future, that if you need that money, you won't use credit or debt to use your own savings. It is incredibly hard, yeah.
Could more be done?
Oh, tons. So for a start, obviously, when it comes to savings, that ISA allowance of 20,000 hasn't moved in years, and it could be increased. The savings allowance, so the savings amount there before you pay tax, could be increased to benefit those so that they don't get pulled in to paying tax earlier, and even down to just our earnings, that personal allowance we get. So we're all entitled to 12,570 of personal allowance before we start paying income tax as individuals, and that has not moved in a long time and really needs to, because as wages increase to match inflation, we're not then seeing the same increase in those kind of tax allowances, therefore we all pay more tax. Not taking home as much.
You're starting to depress me, Alex.
So sorry, I don't mean to do that. I feel very passionate about these things changing.
I can tell, and I think probably everybody listening is entirely in your camp. The frustration is that our political masters just seem hell-bent on ignoring us. And again, another issue that I would say our politicians are consistently failing on is housing. The proposition here is the rental crisis shows no sign of slowing down, there's not enough property, the prices are too high, but the choice between renting and buying, you're going to suggest, isn't as clear as people might think. Explain, please, Abigail.
Of course, when it comes to renting and buying, there has been for years and years this kind of proposition that buying makes more sense. You will save money in the long run, you'll own an asset.
Yeah.
However, for young people, over 51% of first-time buyers are in that 25 to 34-year-old bracket. And we were talking about this on the show a few weeks ago, that a large majority of those young people are now looking to possibly work abroad, this kind of digital nomad style. And for a lot of people, if you buy a home and plan on leaving that within 2 years, it makes no financial sense to actually buy. You should consider renting.
How come?
Because of things like, obviously, your legal fees, the cost building up that deposit, starting the mortgage, and then coming back out of that mortgage and selling the property can cost you more in terms of finance and time than renting, because obviously renting, we know that you can exit those contracts quicker, exactly. Whereas even in this market, people are realising that selling isn't as quick a process as we'd like it to be, because maybe the demand's just not there at the moment. So
I'm just thinking on my feet here. If you were fortunate enough to be in a position as a younger person, younger adult, to buy any kind of property, but you were also a digital nomad working abroad, blah, 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 you could rent the place out, potentially, and that would see you through, and therefore you would return from your travels abroad, you're working abroad, and have an asset rather than be saving up for a deposit to rent somewhere.
you could. Mortgage advisors everywhere will be shouting down at us about the fact that not to forget that obviously if you have a mortgage, it's not always guaranteed that that mortgage means you can rent your property out.
Right.
You might have to look for a buy-to-let mortgage. These mortgages themselves, like I, again, speaking of teaching recently, found out a current statistic that Bank of Mum and Dad is apparently the 6th largest lender in the UK, which is just shocking. And obviously this is sometimes the only way a lot of people find the ability to be able to get onto the property ladder, which is sad and frustrating for a lot of young people.
Tell you what, Abigail, your passion for getting information out there to our younger people in particular, that's coming through loud and clear today. I congratulate you. I wish I'd someone come and visit my school and talk about money back in the day. That would have been quite handy, even if we didn't have any back in the day either. That was Abigail Foster. Now, thanks very much all your contributions this past hour, but we must move on. A story taken in most of the papers today is that Nigel Farage is off to the I'm a Celebrity jungle. Resplendent in a salmon pink blazer, the former UKIP leader has been photographed at the airport off Down Under on his way. So what do you think about this? First we had Nadine Dorries, didn't we? Then Matt Hancock, and now Farage seeking redemption, public appeal perhaps on the big hitting reality telly show. But really, folks, is this how politics should be run? I mean, it's no secret Farage has his eyes on the Tory leadership. 70% of Tory members backed that idea. Are they really willing to accept a reality television star with a mouthful of ostrich penis as their future candidate, their future leader? Have we lost all sense of decorum? Give us a call.
On your radio, on Global Player, and
Play LBC.
leading Britain's conversation. This is LBC.
From Global's newsroom at 9 o'clock, the King will lead a Remembrance Sunday service at the Cenotaph this morning following violent scenes in London yesterday. Charles will lay a wreath on behalf of the nation following a 2-minute silence at 11 o'clock. Lord Lieutenant of...
Right, guys. Remembrance Day. I shall remember with 2 minutes silence, probably at home. I hope everybody has a lovely Sunday. See you later.